Okay, well, that was entirely bizarre. I had today is Monday, December the 2nd, 2024. I literally just started videoing a message for you, Gia, from your daughter, Courtney, from heaven. And it's freezing here today in North Carolina. And I was sitting behind the barn, and my two giant livestock guardian dogs, for whatever reasons, I don't ask when I know angels are involved, heaven is involved, had me get up and walk out into this open field, freezing. And I began to video this message, and all of a sudden an Amber Alert went off on my phone, which at that point, well, it shut down my video. You can't keep videoing when an Amber Alert has been issued via cell phone usage. I'm a little bit taken aback right now. I know that Amber Alert has to do with real life. A child is missing. But at the same time, I know that this has part to do with Courtney's message for you today. Amber Alert. A child missing. I shall have to follow this story today to see, and hopefully this young child will be reunited with their family. I love when you reach out to me and ask me to connect to Courtney. It is cold here today. I've got Christmas music on in the back of the barn. I've got my fire pit rolling here, so I'm keeping warm as the rest of my flock is enjoying this weather. Courtney. Look how she has me smile. I'm always smiling whenever it comes to Courtney. Always smiling. And that is because when I feel her soul, it is always filled with a joy that resonates and is received by my own soul in such ways. She is a happy angel, a fun angel, a smart angel. The first words that Courtney gave me today when I asked to connect with her soul as an angel was made in Manhattan. M-A-I-D. That's a movie, right? Made in Manhattan. Is Angelina Jolie in this movie? I don't quite remember. Made in Manhattan. Anyway, well, you know, as I start off all these messages with you, Gia, these trinkets and treasures that are parts of the message each time that I connect with your daughter Courtney as an angel in heaven become your breadcrumbs. They are for you to continue seeking and discovering the meaning behind what everything means. I could sit here and tell you what I think it means, but these messages aren't for me, and that would be like me opening up your mail and telling you, oh, your water bill is $150. I think you need to pay it all. That's not for me to say. I am a messenger. I do deliver. I do not open anyone's mail, metaphorically speaking. I'm getting smoked away here. Oh, Lord have mercy. Who is over here causing a ruckus in my farm? Nobody. Or is it somebody? Courtney, is that you? You know that Courtney loves when you joke around with her. She does love your laughter. I know she loves your laughter because she tells me she loves your laughter. This was the first thing she came off with today, was made in Manhattan. And she even had me ask, is Angelina Jolie in this? So somehow Angelina Jolie also plays a part in this. Maybe she's one of your role models or something. I don't know. I love her too. Courtney then gave me a vision, Gia. She was sitting at a typewriter, okay? She was sitting at a typewriter, and she had her glasses on, and they were on the tip of her nose, and she was typing away. Very studious looking. A typewriter, not a computer, not a telephone, an actual typewriter. It is so cold here. Look at me. Do I look like I'm a sick person? I said, Courtney, what are you doing? And she said, she took her glasses off and she said, I'm writing my Christmas list. I said, oh, okay. She went back to typing. And at that point, she said, Ma, you got to write your Christmas list too. Mom, I have a good idea. Why don't you write your Christmas list and send it to me? Well, of course I smile because, Gia, I've delivered messages via mail, United States Postal Service, well, to Santa. Throughout my life, my children have too. I've also delivered messages to heaven. While I've never quite heard back in such United States Postal Service ways, this is something that Courtney wants you to do. She wants you don't have to sit at a typewriter, but she wants you to write your Christmas list, your Christmas wish list. She understands you are a grown-up now. Your list is not going to include such things as, dolls and toys. Your list is going to consist more of peace and joy. Things like that. She says, it's so easy, Ma, just write it down. Gia, this is where I'm going back again because, as you also remember, Courtney will always have me keep delivering the same type of messages to you until it does connect to you and you receive it and you do something about it. Like, remember the 5 lipsticks? She stopped doing that, so you must have found some lipsticks along the way, right? She continues to bring up how important it is for you to journal. Consider this Christmas list that she wants you to write today part of your journal. You don't really have to mail it, but if I were you, I would. I would get an envelope out and a stamp. Because she actually said mail it to her. In heaven. I don't know. Put Courtney, her last name, and put care of heaven. Make sure to include your return address on there. I find this beautiful, actually. You know that when I connect to angels, Gia, angels are who have led me to create my own fairy tale life, which for many years I thought was of metaphor and cliche. I've begun to realize, well, that is my life, is a fairy tale life. And along those ways, I've also begun to realize that this is what heaven wants for all of us in this life, is to have our own fairy tale life. We have to remember that fairy tales are not always all beautiful and perfect, and there's not always a knight in shining armor, and there's lots of evil and bad in these fairy tales, but the gist of them is that they do end happily ever after. You got to start a journal if you haven't already. You have to start a journal. You can consider it a scrapbook. You can get a book with just blank pages and you can tape or glue things into there. You can handwrite onto these pages. Do whatever you want. This book is for you. Gia. And yet know that this book also will become your greatest treasure, because this is the place and space where you will begin to collect all of your trinkets and treasures along the ways, photographs, moments that you saw something that you felt your daughter, and you can record it in here. This is very important for you. In life, this is the importance of journaling in itself, is that if we don't journal, well, most of our life simply gets forgotten because life is fast, Courtney then gave me a vision of you and Ed. I want to say it was like an Olin Mills professional portrait style, not a glamour shot type photo. There's a difference. Olin Mills is more, I'm going to get a professional photo of me and my husband. Whereas glamour shots is I'm going to get all dolled up, whatever. But now, as Courtney was showing me this vision of you and Ed in a Olin Mills style portrait of the two of you, she was like, no, but hold on. She goes, this is even better because, Ma, you don't even have to spend any money. This is why we have technology today on our phones. You can set that camera up on self-timer. She wants you and Ed to get dressed up nice. Find somewhere in your house, maybe even outside of your house. Don't worry about people watching you take these pictures. She says, hey, who cares about that? Take these pictures of you and Ed together. They're for you. Photographs are a way to preserve life in such ways of our memory. She says it's long overdue that the two of you, she said it's been a long time since the two of you have had a really nice picture taken of the two of you. Really nice picture. Courtney has me also feel today, Gia, that you've had an upset stomach lately. She has me feel that it is, well, definitely nerves, anxiety related. Remember, December the 2nd is today. We are definitely in the holiday season. Christmas is near. Christmas is here. It is everywhere. It is in the grocery stores. You are surrounded by it every day. The sounds of the season. And while these sounds may bring you sadness, Courtney wants you. She says, pick up some ginger ale, Ma. Crushed ice, ginger ale. Make you a special drink. Look at my lipstick. What's going on here? I'm just listening to my birds. I don't know what's going on. Are you guys having a revival back there? Hey, hey, hey. She also showed me a heating pad. I gotta go check them out. That went along with this vision of the ginger ale and your upset stomach. So I don't know. But anyway, she says that you can utilize such venues as comfort as the heating pad and ginger ale. These are visions of comfort. These are maternal things, as you know. Courtney, as an angel, has taken on a very much so maternal role for you, her mother. You had the maternal role all her life, and now she carries that for you. Courtney also gave me a vision of you kicking, you, Gia, kicking like a radiator, you know, like an old radiator or something. You know, like in an old house. I don't know where you live or what's going on and where you live. I don't know if there's an old style radiator in there or if this is just her way of using metaphor. But I do know that when she showed me this vision of you kicking a radiator, if you didn't actually kick a radiator, the reason she's showing it is because she wants you to kick something. Kicking, we are told in life as children never to do. It's a bad thing to do. And yet as adults, we do need to find such venues to release our emotion. Kicking a trash can, kicking cans, kicking inanimate objects, things that are not going to break our toes or our feet or do any damage to what we are actually kicking, are some of the greatest venues, Gia, for us to release. You know that this is also a big thing that Courtney is really big into for you, is the act of release, releasing. We do hold it in. We are human by nature in this life. It's not even that we're taught to hold it in, it just is what it is, and we hold it in. And while that may be okay, it is equally as important for us to get it out in our own ways. Journaling is one of those ways, and kicking something is another one of those ways. She also mentioned when you're in your car and you have those moments that you're suddenly just captured, especially during this time with Christmas here. You're going to be going through a lot of emotions, Gia. Up and down and all the way around, every which way. It is important for you to utilize all of your venues of releasing this pain and sorrow and grief that will come along with these emotions, with the holidays. She says another great thing to do is when you're in your car alone, scream out loud. She said scream so much, and she said it may hurt. It may hurt. I've actually done that before, and it did hurt. But then it's like, you just feel this huge weight off of your entire body and being. She then showed me a vision of goldfish, you know, like the goldfish crackers. Is that what they're called? Crackers that you eat. I usually associate goldfish with tomato soup. I don't know if that was my mind that kind of kicked in there when I saw the vision of goldfish. It definitely was the crackers she was showing me, not a real live goldfish. Yeah, wouldn't that be something if you guys did just get a goldfish? I don't know. This also had me think along the lines, and not really think, more so receive. Remember, I don't like to tap into my mind when I'm connecting with spirit, and yet, well, I'm human, so at times my mind does kick in. For the most part, angels will redirect me, or as you know, swipe me, tell me to keep going. She didn't have me keep going. When I then got onto the visions of that book, Chicken Soup for the Soul. I think this book came out a good 20, 25, even 30 years ago. Chicken Soup for the Soul. And then after that, this book then was generated into Chicken Soup for the Dog Lover's Soul, Chicken Soup for the Cat Lover's Soul, Chicken Soup for the stay-at-home mom. I mean, like chicken soup for every soul. The idea that I believe Courtney is delivering with this part of the message is that, again, going to all the venues for you to utilize to maintain your balance of peace and joy during the holidays is to utilize what is available to you. If you have one of these books, pull it out, start to read it. They're usually just very short stories. She also had me hear the word, and she swiped me with this because I was like, what? Huh? She goes, da 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 da, badminton. And I was like, okay, that's a game. I get it. And then I heard the word chess. I was like, okay, well, that's a second game, right? And then she was like, no. She's like, hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Scrabble. She goes, oh, please play Scrabble, Ma. Please, you and Ed play Scrabble. Oh, she says, we will have so much fun, all of us. Think about it. Gee, I'm very serious here. I know a lot of what I say sounds crazy, but this is your daughter. It's not me. I'm the messenger. She wants you to utilize such venues as board games. Scrabble is words. She will be with you when you play these games. She will have fun with maybe helping you create words, or maybe you'll just find a word and be like, where did that come from? You'll be able to know at this point now, before you play Scrabble, that it is Courtney playing the game of Scrabble with you and Ed. She wants you and Ed to remain close together. This is huge. And this is what happens in life when we have a loss of a child in our life. It is instinct for us to pull away from those we love. It is instinct for us to find our own comfort and solace in being alone and isolated in such ways. Courtney delivers every time with her messages for you, Gia. Something, somehow, some way to keep you and Ed connected. You gotta play Scrabble. That sounds like fun. She also showed me a vision of a stain on your carpet. I don't know if this is on your carpet here, where you are now in your home, or there was a stain on the carpet. Perhaps this is a memory of a moment where you and Courtney were together and there was a stain on the carpet. She was laughing. She also showed me, of course, she had me look around here and see, gosh, all of our trees now are almost bare. Do you see, like, all the leaves have already fallen off? We are beyond fall. We are into winter. I don't care when winter starts, December 20th or something. We are into winter. She wants you to go back out to that God tree, the God tree, right there where you live. That God tree. She said, put an ornament on that God tree. Just put an ornament up there. She said, but also go out there. I believe the God tree must be kind of like an evergreen or bonsai type tree, meaning it doesn't have leaves. It's like evergreens. So she says, go out there at some point, make sure you're mischievous. Don't let anybody see you do this. Clip off a few of the branches, tiny branches of this God tree. She said, bring them in. Put them in a little vase. Keep them somewhere in your house that you can see them all the time. And be remembered that you and Ed are exactly where you need to be right now in life. You live in a space and place where on the property is a tree literally called the God tree. I don't know if you've researched, Googled what the God tree means, I've done a little research in the past. The God tree is very symbolic of growing from the very blood that soils the ground from such combat. This would make sense for what you are going through, continuing to grieve and mourn the loss of your daughter in life, especially with the trial coming up in the next couple of months. You got to get close with this God tree. And while you're out there, if you find any giant oak leaves, any pretty colored orange or red leaves, pick them up, bring them inside, put them into notebooks or whatever else. Hey, hey, hey! Okay, he can't get you. Hey! He can't get you. You're okay. Oh man, she's soaking wet now. I gotta get going here in a second. Meanwhile, that was the last part of her message, is to feed the birds. And she had me see you feeding birds behind your work or something, or that you see birds in the trash. She loves that you love the birds. The last thing that she had me hear in my mind was the song Choo Choo Train. Come on, Rada, it's the choo choo train. Come on, ride it. And that reminded me when I heard that song that you said that Ed does have a Christmas train set. I don't know if you've put that up yet, but she wants you to put that up if you haven't already. Come on, ride the choo-choo train. I gotta get going and check on my flock. I love you. Talk to you soon.